Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Awesome Club 2.0. So guys, this is the part 17 of our RHCSA version 10 series, and in this part we are going to cover important files related to user and group. So these files will help you to user management and group management. So this is very important topic. So let's cover it. And if you are new to the channel, so please subscribe it and share it to your IT friends. And start without any delay. Let's go. So first of all, let me write here which file or which directory we will cover here. So first one is etc passwd, right? This is a file which we will cover here. And the second one is etc group. Third one is here etc shadow file. And the fourth one is etc gshadow. The next one is etc login.defs. Then next here etc default and user add. These are the file. Then here a directory, that is etc skill directory, which we will cover, and few more files, that is not etc we can say, or let me write here bash rc file we'll discuss, bash profile file we'll discuss, and bash logout. Right. So these are the files and directory which we will discuss. So now let's start from first one. So first file is etc passwd. So in this file, here we have user information. If you want to check user information, so you can read this file with cat command and passwd. So here if you will see, so here we have user information. We have this user, awesome user, right? And here if you see the detail, so here first field is for username, then second field is for mask password. So that means this field denotes we have another file in which password information is there, that is shadow file, which we will discuss. Third field is for uid. The next one is for gid, right, primary group id. Then next one is comment here or description we can say. Next field is for user home directory. So for awesome user, this is a home directory. Then default shell. So these information we can check in this file. Only one user we have, so that's why here we have this information. If you will have more user, like let me create one user add, and I'm just creating suppose user one. After creating it, now if you will check here, so we have user one also with the same detail. Right here you can see. The second one is we have group file. So if you will check here group, so here we have group information. So we have awesome user, awesome group. We have user one group. So as we discussed in last part, in Linux, that's the concept. If you will create any user, so along with that, one primary group will create with the same name. So that's why here we have awesome and user one. If you want to create more group, so we can also create that, right? Group add, I'm creating HR group. So here we have HR group. In this file, we have total 4 fields. First one is HR. This is a group name. Second one is group password. For that, we have file gshadow. Then third one is GID, group ID. And the last one is members of that group. So we don't have any member here. That's why here it is empty. If you will add any like user in this group, so that information will be there. Right? Or the next file is shadow file. So in this file, here we have password information. Right? The shadow file is for password information. In last part, we already discussed the same thing, but here I'm just defining what's the main role of that files and directory. So here we have awesome user and user one. If you will see in this file, here we have total 9 fields. First field is for username. Second field is for password, and the password is encrypted password. And here, yes script encryption is there, right? By for yes script. For user one, we didn't set any password, so that's why here in second field we have exclamation sign. So exclamation sign means what? That password field is empty. We didn't set any password, so that's why. After that, here in next field for user one, if you will see here, this field is for like total days from 1st January 1970, right? For that user, it count from that days. Then next one is here zero. Zero means what? Minimum life of password. Then maximum life of password. Then here warning days. These information is there, right? Then next one is gshadow. This file is for group password. So here we have this group name and we didn't set any password. So that's why here exclamation sign is there and we didn't add any user there. So that's why these fields are empty. If you want to set, so we can set also passwd and on HR I'm setting the password red hat and red hat. Now if I will check, so here you can see this is the password, right? We have password information now. So this is how you can set the password on group also. After it, now the next file is this is cat etc login.tabs. In this file, actually, here we have like a default configuration for user, or we can say like this file contains default configuration for user, like home directory should be created or not, primary group should be created or not, which UID or GID should be their default password or default encryption. So that information here we have. If I will go up, so you can see from here, right? When I create that user one, if you remember, by default there, password maximum days was this one, minimum days 0, minimum length 8, warning date 7. Why this default setting was there? Because it mentioned in this file. So you can change from here. If your organization want that, next time when you will create any user, so there that password aging information should be changed. So you can change from here. UID minimum should be 1000, maximum should be 60,000, right? GID minimum 1000. So all the information here we have. Login retries 3, maximum time in second for login 60, like this, password maximum length, password always one, or here encryption we have, encryption method by default, this one, yes script, right? I told you that. So yes script here we have, if you want to change, so you can change this one or this one, right? Because in this Linux here only it support SHA 256 and 512 and yes script. So you can change from here. That information here we have, right? Yes script cost factor you can change from here. So encryption, like in the encryption you want to change something, if you have knowledge of that encryption, so that's why. User group enable, create home directory, always when you will create a user, home directory will create, right? So all that default configuration here you can change from here. Then next one is etc default user ID. This one is also like user add means what? Here we have default configuration for user add command. Every time when you will create any user with user add command, so these default configuration will be applicable. Like what will happen when you will create new user? Home directory will be /home always. This is the default one. If you will change, so from here you can change. If you will not create any primary group, if you will skip primary group, so that time automatically this 100 group will be the primary group of that user, because in Linux there is a concept that primary group is mandatory for all user. You can't skip. Like if you will skip to create, so automatically that 100 will be there. Inactive -1, always that will be activated. Expiry date is not set there. Shell is this one, default shell, etc skill. This one we will discuss. So this is the default configuration for user add command. After it, now we have a directory. So that's why I will use here etc skill. Normally, if you see here etc skill, so that is empty. But here we have some hidden files or directory. Bash logout profile RC, right? That we'll discuss also. But what's the mean of that skill directory? So in simple word, we can say skill directory, or we can say like this is a skeleton directory. File and directory which is placed in etc skill is placed into user home directory automatically. When I will create new users, automatically any directory or file which is placed here. For example, your organization want that when you will create any new user, so there like few default files or directory should be there. Let me do that. What I'll do, let me do cd for etc skill, and there I'm creating touch space data file, one more touch space user info, right, and one directory mkdir daily task. Right now, if I'll check, okay, -8. So we have these file and directory. Now, if I'll create one user add and HR user that I have created. And now if I will logging into that user, HR user, and let me show you in this HR user, we have same file and directory here we have. Daily task, data file, user information. So no need to create or no need to copy one by one into that user. Automatically will copy that. So that is the mean of skill directory. Now let's discuss these three files, logout, profile, and RC, which was the default one. What's the use of that? So we can say like logout means what? It will execute when user will log out. So if you want that, or if your organization want that, like for HR user, right? For HR user, when this user will log out, automatically all the data of the home directory of that user should be moved to like another directory which you have. So let me create the scenario. Oh, actually I need to type exit, log out it, and now see what I'm doing. mkdir, and I'm creating user data, a directory. Let me change the permission for user data. Fine. And now let me go to home directory of HR user and there dot bash log. In this file, here you can put your script also, or here you can write your script what you want. So what I want to move all the data available under home directory of HR user should be moved to user data, right? So let me save it. See user data now. Fine. Now see what will happen. If I will log in into that user, HR user, I'm here. ls daily task data file user info we have here. Let me create touch today file, touch project file. These two files I have created. And when I will log out, what will happen? If I check here under user data, so we have same file and directory here. Today file, project file, that is more. And now if I will check in the home directory of HR user, there is nothing. That is empty. So that's the mean of logout file. There you can put your script or you can write the command what you want to do with that user at the time of logout. Okay, and then the next one is here we have bash profile, right? Bash profile. That's just bash profile. So what is the mean of this file? So this file will execute only when user login, right? When user login. And the next one is bash hours. This file will execute when user get shell or login, right? So if you want like to make any changes or if you want to execute any command only that time where user will log in. So you can add that command into bash profile file. Or if you want that like anytime when anyone will get the shell. So get the shell means on remote also it will work. If anyone will take your remote, so that time also that bash RC will execute. Let me show you that. So web space, I want to put a command in that HR user. So home HR user and there dot bash RC. Right here I will put a command. This command is one directory should be created RCDIR where it should be created home directory of HR user. There it should be created. Save it. File. One more file. Bash profile. mkdir home HR user their profile file. This. Now see the difference. So if I will like get the shell only, get the shell means what? For that I need to use SU only. SU switch user space and HR user, right? So I'm in root, no issue. Let me check in home and HR user. So only RCDIR is there. You can see this one. RCDIR. If I will log out, right? RCDIR is there. Let me check once. Home, HR user, RCDIR is there. Fine. Let me remove it so that I can see you difference. It is removed. Now if I will do SC space hyphen, when you use hyphen now, so that time you will log in. You will not only get the shell, you will log into that user. And now if I check here, so profile file plus RCDIR, both the file are created here. So that means bash RC and bash profile, both the file are executed here. So that's the mean of these three files. So according to your need, you can like put the command or you can write the script in. I think that's clear for everyone. If you have any doubts, so you can write in comment. So guys, that's all for today. In next part, we will discuss how to switch user, what's the mean of SU, SU hyphen, and few more configuration like BI sudo or user privilege with the sudo, that configuration will do there. So thank you everyone for today. Last